Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story, I wasn't able to find much information about it, let alone the picture of the suspect. But what was even sadder was the fact that I could not find a picture of the baby. But with being diligent and the way that I am, I was able to find a picture of the baby. I know a lot of times it's not a smart thing to put the kids on the screen because it could pose a risk to them as babies. But once they have passed away from whatever methods that have happened, whatever tragedies that have happened, they're no longer at risk. I did find a picture of the baby, and I want to make sure we put some respect on this little baby's name, okay? This baby girl right here with the most precious face I can even remember seeing. I'm going to make her face bigger because I want y'all to see what I saw when I finally found this baby's picture, okay? But try not to get too emotional. This baby is Zorii Pitts. Zorii Pitts was 2 months old. Y'all look at this beautiful, precious princess. This baby had no idea. She could not speak for herself, nor would she ever be able to defend herself against the tyranny of her caretaker. Okay? I wanted to show y'all her picture. She's a beautiful, beautiful little princess. But again, I know these stories are hard to listen to, but I want y'all to remember that all of these babies that we talk about in these stories have gone through something just you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. A human being should never have to go through these things. So the least we can do is listen to their story. A Baltimore man was arrested and charged with murder and child abuse in the death of a 2-month-old girl in Baltimore, B-More, police said Tuesday. The fool that y'all see on my screen, his name is Darius Williams, 33 years old, and the father of the baby. And he was charged with first-degree murder. Let me repeat that. First-degree murder. If you guys have watched my channel long enough, then you know that first-degree murder is usually something that is very heavy. First-degree murder usually means that they have plenty of evidence to put you in jail for life or give you the ultimate penalty under law. So it's usually a very, very serious, almost a slam dunk charge. First-degree murder and second-degree child abuse after police said 2-month-old Zorii Pitts was found dead Saturday. Police received a phone call from family members shortly before 8:30 a.m. telling them the baby girl was unresponsive, police spokesman Vernon Davis said. Zory, who was born March 15th of this year, was found by police at around 8:50 a.m. After officers arrived at the first block of South Monastery Avenue near Allendale and Irvington neighborhoods of West Baltimore, medics pronounced the victim dead, police said in a release. The victim's body was transported to the medical examiner's office where the autopsy was performed and the death was ruled a homicide, which is very important. Her death was ruled as a homicide caused by blunt force trauma to the head, according to the police. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does homicide mean? What does blunt force trauma mean? Homicide usually indicates intention. It was not an accident. Blunt force trauma means that this individual, we believe, probably beat this baby, hit this baby, and caused her death. What is a 2-month-old baby supposed to do from sustaining a punch or a hit or something from a grown-ass man? How is a baby's body supposed to withstand that? For some reason in America, we believe it's okay that you can hit children, spank children, and physically discipline children, but you can't put your hands, feet, or other objects on another adult who actually can defend themselves, can speak for themselves. A man can't go hit a grown woman, and I'm not suggesting that they should. A grown woman can't go beat up a man. Not suggesting that should ever happen. But at least two adults can at least fend for themselves. Children, in a lot of cases, are half of our size, a quarter of our size, an eighth of our size. Some are even smaller than that, like baby Zory. Why would we ever think, where does this mindset, this Neanderthal mindset that probably came from slavery? We think slavery was so bad, but we continue to use tactics that came from slavery. Talking about breaking the curse, huh? It's still people to this day that say, I got spanked, so it's okay for me to pass down spanking to my kids and my kids to pass down spanking to their kids. I'm sorry, but in my humble opinion, if you can't reason with a child and get that child to go in the direction that you need them to go without being physical with them, then in my humble opinion, you are not suitable to be a parent of children. That's pretty clear, pretty self-explanatory what I mean by that. You got to hit a kid, you're not a good parent. Shouldn't be a parent. Let's move on. Detectives interview both Williams and the mother of the child. The mother of the child, and of course they're not going to put her name or her face out there because they don't want the world to know who was dating this freaking fool. The mother told police that it was routine for Williams to care for Zory and her other kids during the day and also care for the baby at night to give the mother a break, according to charging documents. Let me be real transparent with y'all just for a moment. I get a lot of stories. That little bit of information right there was the thing that sparked my flame. I'm going to read that again, and y'all tell me if you hear something that sounds too familiar, sounds like a stereotype, or something that just seems a little bit off, a little bit odd. I almost said odd and off at the same time. Anyway, we'll read it again. The police interviewed them. The mother actually opened her mouth and said these words. It's routine for that thug, that fool, thug meaning his actions, not his skin color, that thug. It's routine for him to care for that baby, that 2-month-old baby, and her other kids during the day, and also care for the baby at night to give the mother a break. I'm going to read it again and break it down. First and foremost, they're not married. Why are they making children? She already had multiple children. Why would you continue to produce children outside of wedlock? Do you not value yourself? Do you not see the value in yourself or your womb to make a man commit to you? No man can do what a woman will not allow that man to do. And if that man can take advantage of that woman's body with no repercussions, then I'm sorry. I think that women need to value themselves more than just letting these random thugs do whatever it is that they feel like doing. How about that? I'm so thankful that my audience understands the value of themselves and they don't date thugs and they don't do stupid crap like this. He was caring for this baby and her other kids, plural, more than one. So I'm going to assume that she had 2 or 3 baby daddies. Again, the hood narrative. Talk about a stereotype. So he cared for her kids and his during the daytime and care for the baby at night to give the mom a break. And give her a break from what? What did the mom need a break from? Did anybody ask that question? What did the mom need a break from? If they're both parents, Those other kids aren't his. Why do you need, I'm just asking this mom, why do you need a break from your kids and put your kids off on him who is not the father of your other kids? Does he not deserve a break from your kids? I'm just asking. I'm just asking why. What does she do for a living? Let's just say she works a regular 9-to-5 job, a menial job, whatever job she does. Do you know what that indicates? He don't work. Why would a healthy looking 33-year-old grown ass father not have his black ass out there working a job providing for his kid? I always find it funny how the ones who work hard to provide always end up on the hook, and the niggas that ain't shit always get left off the hook. Thought I'd throw that out there. Maybe I'm a little bitter. I just think it's an odd thing. Okay? Let's move on. Williams told police that he gave Zory her bottle while the mom was in the shower, and he burped the baby and placed her in the bassinet. Baby Zory was placed on her back on the pillow. I didn't make that up. That's what they wrote. They said Zory was placed on her back at 2 months old on a pillow. He's 33 years old with a 2-month-old. Guess how old I was when I became a father? 24. At 24 years of age, I know that you don't put a 2-month-old baby on its back to go to sleep. Does anybody want to post in the chat why you don't do that? Especially after feeding a kid? Do you know how hard that would be for a grown adult to have a full meal and go to sleep and lay on their back? It said the baby was placed on her back on the pillow. First and foremost, we had somebody in the chat who called it out and said that you shouldn't put them on a pillow. That's one thing. Secondly, you should not put them on their back. You shouldn't eat and then go to sleep on your back. It's a dangerous thing to do. You could choke and die. Let's move past that. He told police that he was the last to hold the baby, and the other children were upstairs in their rooms, according to documents. When Williams was told about Zory's injuries, he denied dropping the baby, abusing the baby, or hurting the baby, according to charging documents, even though the baby had provable blunt force trauma. Okay? Williams said when he woke up, he touched Zory and she felt cold. Williams did not provide an explanation as to how Zory received her injuries, according to the documents. Williams was taken to Central Booking and Intake Facility and is being held with no bond. Rightfully so. An attorney for Williams was not listed in the state's online court case database. Let me give you guys the one news video, and I'm going to tell y'all, it really sucks the fact that I'm the only place that you will ever find this story with that baby's face, okay? Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's talk about the one news video that brought this up. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, here we go. It's just one video.
We're learning more tonight about the death of a baby murdered in Southwest Baltimore, allegedly at the hands of its own father. WMER 2 News' Jeff Hager has more for us on that story tonight.
The 119th murder thus far here in the city of Baltimore proved to be its youngest victim, a 2-month-old baby girl. A 911 call for an unresponsive baby brought police to this house on South Monastery Avenue in southwest Baltimore on Saturday morning. And within a matter of minutes, officers had called homicide detectives to the scene. Officers discovered 2-month-old Zorii Pitts dead inside a bassinet next to her parents' bed in the basement. And her father's account of what had happened just didn't seem to add up. According to charging documents, 33-year-old Darius Williams told investigators he was caring for the child overnight and had given her a bottle at about 2 in the morning before putting her back down to sleep. At 7:30, he claims he awoke and found the baby cold to the touch, and he couldn't find a heartbeat. The infant's mother, though, told a different story of last seeing her child lying in the crib motionless as if asleep at 1 in the morning and still lying in that exact same position more than 6 hours later. Police also learned of an open case involving the same child a month earlier, after the parents took her to Sinai Hospital for what they claimed was an apparent earache, and that was reported to social services. Court records suggest the autopsy held the final piece of the puzzle over Zorii Pitts' death, when the chief medical examiner's office discovered the infant's skull had been crushed with resulting injuries so severe that the baby would have died within minutes of the trauma. Just 48 hours after the infant's murder, her father, Darius Williams, was placed under arrest. Williams faces charges of first-degree murder and first- and second-degree child abuse. Reporting in Southwest Baltimore, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
And that right there should also give us some pause, because it sounds like what they were also insinuating was that there were already some underlying issues. The fact that Child Protective Services had gotten involved before, which means that this could have been a thing that they've already been accused of doing. He could have already been violent. Something could have already been wrong. So again, am I blaming this on Child Protective Services, social services? Nope. The problem starts with the biological mother and biological father. That is why it's so key and it is so important for us to have a better vetting process before we procreate. Before we procreate. We have to better know who we're dealing with. Okay? We have to understand what makes a person tick, understand a person's tendencies, maybe even understand a person's previous history, their record. That speaks a lot about a person's character and how they'll behave when they do have children. I just think we have to do better, and I think what we're going in society right now is we're not even trying. What we're doing is we're meeting a girl at the club and sleeping with her unprotected. What we're doing is we're going to the club, seeing a dude that you interested in because he got that good game, and you letting them bust all up inside you. Sorry, but that's what's happening. And we think, well, I like him, so we need to just do the damn thing together. Just because you like this person does not mean that they are qualified to be a parent. Why do we keep correlating those two things like they go together? Because they damn sure don't. You can get along with this dude and y'all can have a happy life with no kids, and maybe that's just what you like and it works and it's all good. Introduce a child to that situation and that man might not behave the same way. His emotions might not be the same way. His temperament might be all wrong. His background check might come back all bad. How do you even know that he was allowed to be around kids? You don't know because you don't invest in background checks. A lot of people don't. We just end up getting with a person, exchanging numbers, and getting it in. That's not normal. I ask questions. And you know, it really makes me proud, the fact that people shy away from me and they be like, you know what? You ask too many questions. I don't want to talk to you. Good. Because that makes me believe that you got something to hide, and my behind probably don't need to be talking to you. I don't need to be dealing with somebody who feels the need to protect themselves from simple ass questions. Where you from? What do you do? What do you want out of life? How many kids do you want? What school did you go to? What kind of grades did you get? Won't answer simple questions. The vetting process is important. And until we decide to change the process of how we're bringing children into this world, we're going to continue to keep presenting stories on this channel. It's a very simple thing to stop. And every day we have a choice not to behave in an effed up fashion. That baby right there, baby Zorii, Amour-Blu Pitts, that baby could not speak for herself. She could not defend herself. And I'm going to tell you, it absolutely breaks my heart when I put this picture up and I see this angel. What an angel. What a little princess. Give her to me. Give her to me. I would have found a way to work this baby into my busy life and my schedule to give that baby a chance. She didn't deserve that. She deserved to live life and grow up and become something great. This baby was robbed of that opportunity. This so-called father, hope he gets held accountable for his mistakes. For the mom, again, she's going to get off scot-free and can move on to the next penis to put around her kids, let alone putting her kids around the dad that created those kids if she needs a break. Pretty ironic, but we'll move past that part. We hope we get justice against this man and hope that he gets convicted of everything that we believe that he's guilty of. All right? So I don't think we're going to have any more updates with this particular story, but I do thank you guys for listening with an open mind and an open heart. And I hope that people learn something from this channel, okay? So from my heart to yours, I love you all. Thank y'all for listening. And we'll see you guys on the next stream. Please make sure you share this baby's story. Share stories like this from my channel. See you guys on the next stream. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.